welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie, and today we are going to be going over my summer reading plans, even though it's well into June. It's at the end of June, actually, which is really insane because this year has been going by so fast, due in large part to the fact that this is like the most chaotic year of my entire life. A lot of good things, but very chaotic nonetheless, and time has been flying and I haven't even been able to upload as much as I want to, and I actually have been filming a lot, but uploading has been a different story. But with that being said, I have my spring reads board over there that has not been touched in a while, and it is time to flip it over into summer, and I want to go over my summer reading plans with you right now. And also, I got a new bookshelf. So we're going to be transferring some of my TBR stack, which is basically all the stuff over here I haven't read, onto my new shelf, and that's going to be my new TBR, and I'm going to go over some of the books that I own that I'm looking to add to my summer TBR. So this is the shelf that I got from my Buy Nothing group, and I'm so excited because I have been on the lookout for a bookshelf. I kind of keep my eye out on the Buy Nothing group, which is so amazing. I mean, everyone should get with their Buy Nothing group. I was keeping my eye out for a new bookshelf because I've desperately needed one, but I needed one that I actually liked. And then they also had a new cat tower for the babies. So, I mean, that was amazing. I wasn't really looking for a new one of those because they have so many, but it was free and it looked like it was in pretty good condition. So I went ahead and grabbed it too. So there we go. That's my new bookshelf. I'm so excited. I was desperately needing a new one. Okay, so here's the situation. So this bookshelf, this was where everything was, and these two bottom ones that are now empty, those are where I had all of my books my unread owned books, as well as what was up there. Whoops. Up there. Those were all also unread, and now they are here. And so I think that what I'm going to do with this new shelf, ideally, like in a future world, I will probably do something else with this shelf, but this is what I have for now because I don't really want to rearrange my entire house to use this. I just want to use it right now. But I was happy to find this shelf for free, and it's great because I was really having an issue. I was having an issue because on this box right here, these are books that I've read, and these are kind of like my favorite shelf. So behind all these books are like more books back there that just like don't fit on the shelves. So I'm very happy because I can take all of my unread books off this shelf and move them to this and make this whole thing a TBR shelf, except for these down here are textbooks, but that I think will offer me a lot of help. So I'm gonna go through and do that now. And I think what I'm gonna do is, I know a lot of people will put like highest priorities up and then like kind of like down here is like the ones I'm least immediately interested in. Okay, so here is where we're at and here is what we're gonna do. So unfortunately, when I took off all the books that were on those two cubes, now what's left is like a bunch of empty space. So I'll have to figure that out at another time, at a different date. But what I wanted to do was go ahead and take a look at my spring reads board. This is where I kind of sort of tried to plan out my spring reading, and we'll see how I did on that. We'll see if I actually read any of the books. So the first ones that are up here are a list of memoirs, Textbook by Amy Krauss Rosenthal, Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham, Somebody's Daughter by Ashley Ford, I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, and Crying in H Mart by Japanese Breakfast, but what's her actual name? By Michelle Zahner. Sorry, I only knew her Japanese Breakfast is what I know her as. Okay. So The answer is, yeah, I did read some of these, and no, I didn't read some others of them. I'm still kind of in my process of getting through this list of memoirs. I have read Textbook by Amy Cross Rosenthal. I've read Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham, and I've read I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I will eventually, when I get through that entire memoir list, I will have a video out that is all of those memoirs. So that's, sort of well done, but I do still have 2 memoirs on that list. I have Somebody's Daughter by Ashley Ford and Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. So those 2 I definitely should get around to pretty, relatively soon. I'll be honest though, like nonfiction memoirs, they are not my favorite thing. Even when they're done well, I don't like jump at the chance to read more of them. So, but like I did buy these, so I'm gonna read them, and like I've heard such amazing things about both of these. I bought these at the end of last year, so we're kind of like, I should probably read them, but I just don't jump at memoirs. And there's like been memoirs that I've enjoyed, like some of them I've really liked. It's just, they're not a genre that I really gravitate towards, so it is kind of hard for me to like find the motivation to start them. And I guess I'm gonna look over these and see if I can like move any of these to summer if I haven't read them, but also I'm kind of gonna be going through my pile here and see because a lot of these have been buried in my shelf and I really haven't looked at them, so I should take a look and just see what should I prioritize for summer, honestly. And this is kind of one of the first times where I don't have something that I'm like dying to pick up from the library or anything like that. I'm kind of just reading what I feel like, and I'm not super into sticking to a list right now for whatever reason. So I feel like I have a lot of freedom to just do what my heart desires. But anyway, I'll put a couple check marks. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Notes on an Execution by, I didn't write the authors here because I don't have the space to write them. Where is that? Oh, it's on my red shelf. Yeah, I read it. Notes on an Execution by Daniel Kukafa. Read that, well done. Camp Zero by Michelle Min Sterling. Read it, and I've already unhauled it. So there we go. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. Oh, okay. So interesting. I started this. I read the first 30 pages. Actually, I have it right here. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. Okay, yeah. So I started this, read the first 30 pages, and it's not that I didn't like it. It's just I just couldn't, I just didn't get the chance to continue on with it because I had to pick up something else, and just it just didn't work out. But kind of miraculously, I joined another book club with my friends from my work. Actually, they invited me, which was super nice of them. And the very first book that they picked, their July pick, was In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. So super happy about it because I now have an extra reason. I was already going to read this. It's already on my TBR. It's already going to be in my Dark Academia Part 2 video, which is going to come out whenever I read the books. But it was already planned, and now I have even more motivation, or it's an even more reason to read it in July. So this is definitely going on my summer TBR, but yeah, unfortunately failed, did not read it in spring. I tried though. I started it. I opened the book. That's gotta count for something. Okay, The Writing Retreat by, can't remember her name. I'm usually a lot better than this. But The Writing Retreat, yes, I read it, and I've already unhauled it. I read it for the Literally Dead Book Club back in I don't know, March? Yeah. Fates and Furies. Oh my God, how many times? How many TBRs am I going to put this on and still refuse to read? Fates and Furies by Lauren Groff. Oh my God. I swear to God, I have had this on my TBR since I mean, at least my birthday. It's probably longer. I've freaking put this on every freaking list and I have yet to read it. But for some reason, July and August really are kind of like my peak reading months. Just because it's just the mood I'm in. And also my work slows down a lot, or should I say my second job stops being as chaotic. So that gives me a lot more time to read. So I'll definitely, it's going back on the summer TBR, even though I've had it at least on my TBR since February, if not earlier. Haven't read it. The Bone Clocks by David Mitchell. A very similar situation to Fates and Furies. Except for this one, David Mitchell is one of my favorite authors. And I was like ecstatic to get this hardcover book for $3 at my local library sale. I did that like last summer. And I still haven't even attempted to read this book. And the thing is, I know I love David Mitchell. I know I'm gonna really have a good time with this, but I'm also scared. It's quite a long book. It's like heavy. And it's, oh my God, it is over 600 pages, which I have a big book fear. I really, really do. So that being said, I've not been like super motivated to pick it up. But summer is a great time. It's a great time to attempt this, although I'm kind of worried that like I'm only going to be able to read this one book. It's going to take me the entire month to read it. So it's intimidating, but very similarly to Lauren Groff, it's a book I'm dying to read. Why do I do this? Why do I like want to read these books so much that I don't pick them up? Somebody explain that. It's going on my summer TBR. Okay. Hell of a Book by Jason Mott. Okay, another interesting one. Hell of a Book by Jason Mott. Okay, so I bought this book in February for my birthday. It was part of my birthday book haul that I got. Very excited about it. And I picked it up, didn't know exactly when I was going to get to it. And then I just pitched this to my book club. And my book club has agreed to read it for July. Yay! So that gives me a big incentive to read it. I always read the books for that book club. It's my primary book club, although I technically am in 3 now. So, but this for my primary book club, I will be reading Hell of a Book by Jason Mott in July. So it's going on the TBR. Yay! Okay, The Reader. Yeah, that's The Reader by Bernard Schlink. This is the book that my best friend recommended to me and I still haven't read it. I do want to read it. It looks pretty short. It looks like a very quick read. So I want to read it. I hear it deals with a pretty heavy topic. I want to read it. I actually brought it to England in case I was going to get to it and then I didn't. So I have definitely picked this book up. I've definitely considered opening it. I've thought about it. And I do want to read it. I just didn't do it. So once again, it's going to stay on the TBR for summer. We'll hope I get to it. And the last book on this list was The Deep. That is The Deep by Rivers Solomon. It's actually a novella. So a couple of these books like this, The Deep, and Hell of a Book are books that I got around my birthday. I actually found this in a free little library, so very excited to find it. And this is a novella, so it's super, super short, and it's, oh, what is it? The genre is called Afrofuturism / fantasy, something in there. Very short. And yeah, I definitely want to read it. Like, it's so short that I should read it. And again, it's one of those, like, I've thought about it, I picked it up. Spring is not a great reading time for me, generally. I'm very busy in the spring. I always kind of overcommit myself, especially with reading in the spring. It just tends not to happen very much, or not nearly as much as I would like to. So I definitely kind of like overextended. And because of course, I have book club books. Like for example, in the month of May and June, like right now I'm filming this, it's June 19th. So the books that I read in the past 2 months, like I think those numbers are going to be lower than other times of year. Let's see here. Let's see, what did I read? And a lot of them, if I did read books or if I did finish them, it's because they were audiobooks, which are just a little easier for me to accomplish, like time-wise. Like I just don't have a ton of time. Okay. So May, the books that I read in May were Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson and Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. So yeah, I mean, like, those books were not on my spring TBR. Audiobooks, I kind of add books that they're not on my TBR. I add them based on what I find is available at the library, and if I'm kind of interested in them, they're on my general TBR, I'll listen to them. But Adelaide is a book that I read because I got it from Book of the Month. Book of the Month is another thing. Like, I get a lot of books from Book of the Month now, and I hardly ever have time to read them. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I definitely wanted to read this because it was just like so spring oriented, and it does take place in London, and I was going to London, so that's what I wanted to read. And I think I gave this a 3.5. I'm probably gonna unhaul it, to be honest. Like, I had some fun with it, but not like enough fun. I had also problems with it, so yeah. I read My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier for my trip to England. I am gonna have an England video up eventually. Oh my gosh. I'm actually gonna have 2, and I'm editing them, and it should take me forever to edit them. So that's a struggle. But I did read that, which wasn't on my spring TBR, even though it probably should have been. I listened to The Hobbit on audiobook. And then for my book club, I just finished reading The Appeal by Janice Hallett, and I do have a video coming out about reading this one. This is a murder mystery. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I forgot to put my book club books on my spring TBR. So, but yeah, there you go. Like, in total, from both May and June, I only read 5 books. And typically I will read like 4 books a month. So my reading was definitely down in May and June because I've just been really busy. So that meant that like the second half of this list we didn't make it. We did not make it to that. So there we go. Let's get into summer now. Okay, fresh board. We did red in spring, so I'll do blue in summer. I only have red or blue, so. Summer reads 2023. All right, let's see here. So I think like a good thing to do would be to go through the books that I own and just kind of like take a look and see like what has been on my shelf for a really long time that I should like try to prioritize. I feel bad just having books that sit on my shelf for forever because that's not, it's not why I bought them. I didn't buy them to sit there forever. But at the same time, I know that it's okay. It's okay to have a book that you're just, waiting for the right time to get to. So what I think I'll do is I will start with books that I have for book club. So we already talked about that. That's Hell of a Book and In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. So I'll put those both on there. Okay. I'm currently in the middle of reading One Italian Summer by Rebecca Serrell. I'm going to have a video on it. And in correlation with this book, One Italian Summer, I will also be reading A Perfect Vintage by Chelsea Fagan. So even though I'm currently like in the midst of these books, like I will probably finish this book tonight and probably start this one this week, I'm still going to put them on my summer TBR because you know what? They're books I read in the summer. June counts as a summer month. Okay, let's take a little look around my TBR situation. So some books that I like kind of tried to start, I tried to read Hamnet in the spring, did not work out. I'm soft DNFing this. I think I'm gonna wait for the audiobook. I put the audiobook on hold. I would really like to get through it via audiobook. We'll try. So this is not officially going on my TBR. It's just, it's gonna go in the in the nether world. I'm also trying to think because like Summerween is happening pretty soon, and I'm thinking if I have any horror thrillers I want to read for that. I've never participated in Summerween before, but I don't know, maybe I should do it this year. Book of the month. I do have so many books of the month that I have yet to read. I'm very terrible at that. But a priority is Wayward by Amelia Hart. This is a book I'm really interested in getting to because I'm planning a video based on the witchiness of this book. So Wayward by Amelia Hart is definitely going on my TBR. Other books of the month I have some questions for you by Rebecca Mackay. Very interested in this book. It's a big one though. I'm considering maybe tossing this out to my book club, maybe to read in the fall. So I do want to read it. I just don't know when I'm gonna get to it. I'm putting it in the maybe pile. And this one, Blood SisterScribe by Emma Torres. I've been told that this is kind of like has practical magic vibes, which is very much in the witchy category. So it could like go along with Wayward, but I do think it's gonna take me like kind of a long time to read these. So I don't know. I'm also gonna put it in the maybe pile. It's again quite big, but you know, we'll see. I don't know, should I put it? I mean, it does fit the witchy theme. So, you know, let's do it. Let's put it on the summer TBR. The 5th season I said I was gonna read this year, haven't done it yet. Daisy Darker is a thriller I just got, although does this take place in the winter? Oh, this takes place over Halloween, so maybe I should save this for Halloween. Okay, well that makes it easy. I read Parable of the Sower last year by Octavia E. Butler, and I read it in the summer and I really loved it, so I would like to read Parable of the Talents. I'll put it on the maybe pile. World War Z by Max Brooks. I am currently reading the Walking Dead compendium novels, which by the way, I need to start book 2 this week so I can get it done by the end of June. But I'm very interested in reading World War Z, and I like kind of want to read it for Summerween maybe. It feels like a summer read, and I feel like it would go well along with Walking Dead. A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Torres. I've had this on my TBR for so long. A good friend gifted this to me, and I'm very, very interested in it. I think it's gonna be something I really enjoy. So, you know, it needs to be put on the summer TBR. Let's do this. Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doyer. So the good news is I'm currently reading this on audiobook, so I hope to finish it. I have this paperback copy that I got for $15, I think. And my goodness, this thing is so thick. I'm reading the audiobook right now though, so hopefully I get through it soon. These Cormac McCarthy books, Cormac McCarthy, he just died, and these 2 books, it's a double feature thing, and I did mean to read them. He just recently died, like last week. And they don't look super long. I don't even know, like, my friend he's a big Cormac McCarthy fan, and he tried to read them and he didn't like them, so I have not really been prioritizing them, but I did pay full price. The Paulbearer Club by Paul Tremblay is a book I'm very interested in because of its mixed media format, and it looks like a lot of fun, so it could be fun. It could be another Summerween option. Even though I don't think it's like really scary, I don't think it's even like horror, I think it's just kind of weird. But yeah, that's an option. On Earth as It Is on Television is an arc that comes out June 23rd, so I better read this pretty soon, so I guess I'll put it on the list. Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I bought this full price, and a lot of people really, really love it. So I should read it. I'll put it on the list. Okay, well that is starting to become a pretty comprehensive list. I'm looking at the size of these books and I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get through these. There's a couple books that I'm like, oh, I've just had these books on my TBR for so long and I haven't gotten to them, like The Inheritance of Orchida Divinia. I would really like to read this. It seems really cute and I love the cover. It's so cute and magical. It's magical realism, I think. So yeah, and then I have Dear Edward, which is about survivor's guilt after a boy survives a plane crash. And then Girl A, which I believe is about a family that abuses this girl, which is really sad. But it's been on my TBR for a really long time. So like these books have just been sitting on my shelf and I'm like, I have to either read them or like do something about it. I also have a bunch of just like really short books that I always like see and I'm like, oh, I should read that because it's so short. It would take me like no time at all. And then I don't actually do it. So I need to figure out, like, maybe I should make a video where I just read all of the books. How many pages is this? 221. So maybe I do, and I think this is the longest one. So maybe I do a video where I read all the books under 230 pages on my physical TBR because I would really like to get to these, but I feel like if I don't actually like plan it out, I won't do it. This one might be short stories. Yeah, this one's actually short stories. So that's an option. But I think for now I'm just gonna go with what I currently have and just like, of course, like if I get to all of these, then I can keep adding more. That would be great. But let's try not to overdo it. I still didn't end up actually adding Fates and Furies and Bone Clocks onto this list, which I probably should. Let me just do that. Because those books are so long, maybe I should like read like one really long book and then like 3 super short ones and then like another really long book and then like a super short one to just like help that out. But there we go. That is what is currently on my summer TBR. Very subject to change as it always does. But I think that like several of these I probably will hit. And yeah, now I just have to do the process of like making up my new TBR shelf and then like figure out what I'm gonna do over here. And yeah, I've got some rearranging to do. But there you have it. That's my summer reads. So please let me know down in the comments below. Have you read any of these books? Did you like them? Are they on your TBR? If not, what is on your TBR for the summer? I'm so excited. Summer is my favorite time of year and it is the time of year that I definitely do the most reading. So I am so excited to get into it. I am gonna go and actually get to work on some of these right now. So let me know in the comments down below what you are reading this summer and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.